Welcome to Iron Mag Labs presents MSTV. I am your host, Joe Pietaro. We are going to be joined in just a little bit by Dr. Tony Huge via Skype. And I got to tell you something, guys. I did that interview with Tony a few weeks back. And after that interview, it went so fucking well that he and I were talking. And now it's already been posted. So, you know, by now you know. Tony and Coach Trevor are joining us as Muscle Sport Mag columnists, and also going to have their own program on our Muscle Sport TV YouTube station. So from a little Skype interview on this program, we brought on two guys that have just been blowing up all throughout the bodybuilding fucking industry. And this interview Tony and I did, we had a lot of fun doing, and you're going to fucking love it. And also, I'm going to address later in this program the whole situation of why it's not Greg and Joe TV anymore. You guys know the story already, but I just figured, you know what? I just want to make like kind of an official, I'll leave it short, statement. But let's not let that hold us up. Check us out in just a few minutes. We're going to be right back with Dr. Tony Huge. Don't go anywhere.
This is Robert Frank, 615, and you're watching Muscle Sport TV, the most jacked and tan show on the fucking internet.
And welcome back to Muscle Sport TV. This is Joe Pietaro. I'm being joined right now via Skype by Dr. Tony Huge. Tony, how the fuck are you today, bro?
Oh, good. I just had some of my morning injections, and so I'm feeling my pre-workout kick in, my hormones kick in, I'm pumped and amped and ready to go.
So I've been trying to catch up because you put out so many videos on your YouTube channel, which is Enhanced Athlete also. I implore our viewers to subscribe to Tony's channel. You got Trevor, the trainer, you got Baby Mama. I mean, just the characters on your fucking shows are just insane. The hottie alerts. I mean, I just was watching a few of them. The blonde girl with the black lingerie on, injecting your glute, was hysterical, bro. I mean, I don't know how the fuck...
Yeah. It's funny because you get these hot girls and put a syringe in their hand, and, you know, if you're very confident, and it almost makes it awkward for them not to go along with it, but it's like the first time they've ever experienced that. So you get to see on the video their facial expressions and reaction to doing something extreme like this. I find it so entertaining as I'm doing it.
It's hysterical. And then you have the little words, the text at the bottom, and it's like, look at her face. She's deathly afraid of needles. The other one with the brunette girl, too, with the Delta injection. I find these things, and it's, even though you have the hot girl doing it, you're giving great advice for guys that either never used or are users and say, shit, I never thought of it that way. Why don't I switch needles and do an insulin needle? I'm fucking jabbing myself with this cannon and it's fucking killing me. So you're really putting out quality information on top of doing it in a fucking way that people want to watch. I mean, I'll be the first to admit, and that's why our material is kind of off the cuff and edgy and shit like that. Bodybuilding and fitness is probably one of the most boring things in the world, bro. Do you agree?
Yeah, because traditionally a bodybuilder eats, sleeps, trains, very regimented. There's not much room for excitement or variable entertainment. So, yeah, to be able to bring a lifestyle to it and entertainment to it, I think it takes bodybuilding to a whole new genre.
It definitely does, and it's kind of weird how this industry, now I've been involved in it and from journalism for about 10 years now. I've worked for multiple magazines, Flex MD, including my own one, Muscle Sport magazine. So I've seen it go from where it was just ridiculously a niche within a niche, and then now all of a sudden, because the social media guys, if you want to call them that, have come out, it's really has made it, if it's not grown it, at least the people that are still involved in it are enjoying it for once, because it was fucking mundane, redundant, and then guys like yourself have come on the scene and it just made it a completely different animal. I mean, so what made you decide, because obviously you've been doing this shit for a while, you're in great shape, you're a lawyer. I mean, people don't understand, who is this guy, doctor? Do you have a doctorate? That's how you use your name, Dr. Tony Huge, which the viewers, you said on one of your videos, gave you that name.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting how you have become the type of guy that's really gone out there and just exploded on the scene in the last year or so. What made you decide, I'm going to go on YouTube and just do these things and see what happens?
There was a lot of elements to it. One is that I've always been experimenting on my body and then sharing the information that I'm learning with my friends, but I got tired of repeating myself over and over. So I would help coach, and this is just as a hobby because I was a lawyer, and before that I was in real estate, and I was in cars, and I was in building computers, and pretty much every field I've tapped into in some way because I just workaholic style person. But my passion was coaching people and helping them improve their physique and their quality of life. And so instead of doing it on a small scale of helping, friend A and then helping friend B and realizing I'm repeating myself over and over, why don't I make videos and then all of my friends could watch them? So I was thinking initially I would just send them the link to the video and they ask me a question. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I got the idea, and just for my inner circle of friends. And then it almost became political early on, because I started when I was at a very young age. I had an allowance, and I would spend it all at GNC. I started working out at age 14 years old or something, and I would spend it all on these crap supplements that did absolutely nothing for me. And as I grew up and I learned more how to analyze the scientific studies and what they're all based on, I realized that some of this stuff is helpful, but a lot of it I was kind of being duped. And I didn't want other people to be duped. And more importantly, I wanted them to have critical thinking and not just being duped by supplements, but also maybe the politics of the country they're in, or just whatever the media is putting forward or a marketing campaign is putting forward. And so just to raise the intelligence level of my friends and peers. So that's when I started doing the DNP diaries. And originally it was, yes, it's an experiment on myself. Yes, because I want to experiment with the compound. But it's also to take, here's a compound that the media has demonized more than any other compound as the most deadly thing you can take. Nobody should take it. It's poison. And I had a friend that had used it with great success, and he had never had any side effects. He loved it. So I said, let me try it on myself. Let me judge for myself and share my experience through the DMP diaries. And through that, other people can learn that maybe everything that they were taught by the media, or maybe everything they read in sensationalist news articles is not exactly true, and they need to develop that ability to critical think for themselves.
So, I mean, basically it just started out as just kind of almost like a hobby kind of thing, really, and now you've grown it into this fucking huge, I'm gonna call it an empire. I'm gonna just because the things that you guys are doing, to me, it's like it's a fucking global empire. You're a world traveler. You go all over the place. Obviously, your flavor is Asian. You love Asian women, and the Filipino video with the bathtub. I'm getting fucking horny. I want to jump in that fucking tub. I mean, it was hysterical, bro. I mean, it was like a serious conversation going on with the two women in the bathtub with the overdubbing to, translation with, like you said, she spoke half English and, half Filipino. And it was just, the whole thing was just, it was like ridiculous, but great at the same time. And the one in Taiwan with the let her pick an injection site. I mean, I could go on and on forever. But because now you're doing these videos and you got the company and all of that, what made you guys decide to do this globally, all around the world?
Let's see. The first trip was, one of the early on trips was Shanghai, China, for the World Nutraceutical Supplement and Sourcing Expo, which I'm actually going to again in a couple weeks from now. And that really opened up my eyes to the fact that America might be ahead of the rest of the world in some things, but other parts of the world are far ahead of America on other things. And if I can travel around the world and learn the secrets from every country, then I can take the best from every country together and be the most cutting edge. And that's what excites me, is being on the cutting edge of science. Not necessarily just for bodybuilding, but anything that has to do with improving our quality of life. So that really opened up my eyes. And then when I went from there, I went to Taiwan. I spent some time in Taiwan. I learned a ton in Taiwan. I started appreciating the different cultures as it relates to fitness, and then pulling things from quality of life from all these different countries of the things that I like, and learning about myself more. And then I started falling for girls in each one of these countries too. And so then I'm like, wow, I can have an amazing, I'm pretty much a monogamous relationship with like one girl in every country, and then they'll miss me and I'll miss them, and I'll travel there and they'll be my girlfriend in that country. And so I did that for a while. It was really good. And then I started getting used to plane flights, which was my worst favorite thing, but now I can deal with it pretty good by using things like benzodiazepines on the plane to relax myself. So now that those are more pleasurable, I don't hesitate to fly so much. And then I had taken a trip 5 years ago that changed my life when I went on an Asian tour. Mm-hmm. And it was actually, I booked it through a sex tours company. And it wasn't like the primary goal of the trip, but I just thought, hey, if I'm going to go on a tour, why not make it like a really cool, badass tour?
Fuck yeah.
So that opened up my eyes to a whole nother level of quality of life. And when I came back to the States after that, I was ruined. Like, I could not have a normal relationship after I had seen the potential of how amazing dating life could be outside of America. And so then I was always daydreaming for the last 5 years, even as I was practicing as an attorney, of getting back to heaven.
Yeah. Oh, you're fucking... Very easy to explain that. And if anybody can't understand that, any of your videos over there will suffice, and they'll know what you mean. Tony, hang on. We got to go for a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more with Dr. Tony Huge right after this quick message.
This is Jason Genova. You're watching Muscle Sports TV.
We're back more with the second segment with Dr. Tony Huge. Tony, I would be remiss if I didn't put the journalist cap on for a second, and I have to probably ask you the stupidest obvious question. Do you ever get any flack or fallout from your videos, either legality-wise or from potential clients in your law business?
No, I finally retired as a lawyer, and I don't think that there was much of a crossover. The clients that I did have that were aware of it thought it was just amazing, like awesome, like, wow, look what my lawyer's doing back then. But most of the clients weren't interested in bodybuilding or fitness, so it's not like they would see that side. And Attorney Anthony Hughes has its own marketing and thing, and then Dr. Tony Huge is like a different persona. So.
And you said, you're using prescription tests and all of that, TRT and stuff like that, so there's no issues as far as with that goes, right?
Yeah, I've done an analysis for myself for what I'm doing as it relates to my bar license. And so basically, if you're advocating a position, like I'm working on legalizing steroids, let's say, in the very beginning stages. Not that it's ever realistically going to happen, but if you're doing something that has a political motive, that you have some remote possibility of changing a law, even though it potentially violates the law. Not that what I'm doing violates the law, but then there's an argument that what you're doing isn't against the moral requirements of your bar license.
And what type of lawyer were you? What kind of cases were you working with?
I did about 75% bankruptcy cases spread between consumer and business reorganizations and liquidations. And then the other part I did real estate law, estate planning, mostly financial law.
Financial law.
I started out handling everything: personal injury, criminal law, divorce, anything I could get my hands on. But then I settled into bankruptcy during the bankruptcy boom, because that was the opportunity was for the most leverage. I could handle the most amount of cases with the largest staff.
Absolutely, want and need. So, but it would be probably a no-brainer to say this is obviously more fun, this type of work that you're doing now, right?
Yeah, this is more fun. There was parts of the law that was solving the puzzles for the clients that were extremely rewarding.
Sure,
but that was such a small part of it. Yeah. All of the administrative BS and dealing with the judges and all the paperwork, and kind of drowns out the part that was rewarding. Compared to this is much more rewarding for a lot less administration. Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, they go to your site, they can find you guys have a whole supplement line. You got a line of apparel and stuff like that. So, I want to give you a chance to plug that type of things, that part of the business. So let them know a little bit about that end of it.
Yeah, so enhancedathlete.com and enhancedchemicals.com. I started it to sell all the supplements mainly just within my friends circle, and then spread from there, kind of like word of mouth, just to have the best quality, most hardcore stuff, like all the SARMs and what I would use as my personal custom formulas for fat burning, since I was competing in bodybuilding competitions, and fat burning was always a challenge for me. And then it was always to lose money, too, as a tax deduction, because I just didn't really need to make any money, but I wanted to have a tax write-off for expenses. So I never imagined that the supplement company would get that big, but there was a huge demand for all the really hardcore products. But then EnhancedAthlete.com had to move the research chemicals over to EnhancedChemicals.com, because that's just legally safer. A lot of these, anything that's really powerful, that's considered a drug that really does anything, has to be sold as a research chemical unless it's FDA approved and then sold through that process, which is absolutely the most ridiculous law. And it's not like that most anywhere else in the world. You can buy all this stuff over the counter, but in America it's so regulated. And so basically when someone's buying something from the research chemical site, they're saying, I understand I'm not supposed to take this as a human. Nothing's supposed to be marketed to me as a human. I could die or suffer serious bodily injury when I take this stuff. And
it's
that's
so fucking stupid. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. It's ass backwards. You definitely got it right. I saw that on one of your videos you were talking about you have Ment that you have on your site. This is a fucking drug that I really don't know much about at all, and it seems that a lot of people are saying fucking great things about it. School me on Ment, Tony.
Yeah, most people are saying great things about it. Some people seem not to respond to it very well, but then some people don't respond to certain steroids, period.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't understand why. Ment is extremely anabolic, and as long as we prevent the conversion to estrogen, because it converts so fast to estrogen, then it's supposed to be 23 times more anabolic than testosterone. So normally, just being more anabolic than testosterone doesn't necessarily equate to more muscle growth. Like halotestin is so anabolic, yet it doesn't really put on muscle. But Ment does, and I think it's not just because it's so anabolic, but also because it does convert to estradiol, which is one of the more powerful forms of estrogen, which actually does help build muscle and help cause IGF output from the liver when combined with growth hormone. And so I think especially like Ment with the growth hormone, I've never seen anybody put on so much size as using a Ment at a high dosage. And I was doing 100 milligrams per day. I put on a pound per day for 28 days. That was 28 pounds before I got way too heavy for my classic physique cutoff weight. So then I backed off it. I just started Ment again, but it's just 100 milligrams every other day. and I'm putting on weight really fast. I'm combining it with some other stuff too.
Yeah.
But the estrogen is tough to manage. I mean, I already got nipple sensitivity on 25 milligrams of exemestane per day. So usually even just going 50 milligrams or more of ment per day means we got to look into letrozole, like a half a tablet a day or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of this thing where it's like, I guess, like it's, I remember like when Mark McGuire with Andro, all of a sudden, boom, everybody wanted fucking Andro, you know, and I guess that's kind of like this ment is coming out of nowhere really, and you seem to have a lot of knowledge about it, which is good, and you're using it, and you know how to use it, and you know what the fallback is, like you said, the estrogen part of it. But that's pretty cool though, you know, like this is something that I'm really not up on the whole SARMs thing, and I really should be, because it seems to be everybody's going fucking nuts over these things. How would you compare something like ment to testosterone?
And since you mentioned the SARMs thing, we should do an episode on SARMs, because I've got a lot of theories that I don't think people have really discussed about SARMs, why they're so effective and why they could be more effective in other people,
Yeah.
dosages, and how I think people got it mostly wrong. All right, but your question was...
I would definitely love to do that. We're going to definitely do that, Tony.
Yeah. Your question was ment, how does it compare to testosterone?
Yeah.
Well, it's similar because, see, unlike a DECA or a trend or an EQ, if you take those things without testosterone, you're going to be missing some of the physiological benefits of testosterone, because they're going to shut off your natural testosterone, and testosterone does more things than just build muscle. So ment actually does most all of those things that testosterone does besides build muscle. So you can actually replace your own testosterone with ment. The only thing you'd be missing is DHT, because ment doesn't convert to DHT. Now, I've seen people go on ment for months, which means with no testosterone, which means that they have no DHT in their body, and they're perfectly fine, perfectly functional. They suffer no side effects of having no DHT, but I don't know what the long-term side effects of crashing your own natural DHT level are. Assuming there are none, then it's a perfect replacement for testosterone with all of the benefits, but also being 23 times more anabolic, which means putting on way more muscle mass than using a testosterone, and being able to potentially use a lower dosage of ment, because the higher dosage you go on testosterone, the more that's going to convert to DHT, the more it's going to convert to estrogen, and you're also binding up your receptor sites. This is just a theory, binding up your receptor sites with something that's not super anabolic, something that's going to not have a high affinity for the receptor, so it's going to attach to a receptor and then come off and attach and come off, instead of that ment that's going to stick in there and give a very strong signal to build muscle for a longer period of time.
It's like learning it all over again, really. It's a totally new animal as compared to just regular fucking gear, and it's fascinating. Yeah, obviously the industry, this is a huge part of it, but we're going to be out of time. We are definitely going to do what you suggested, that whole SARMs thing. We definitely want you back on Muscle Sport TV. I want to talk to you about doing more than just a guest spot, if you will. But I'd like to thank you so much for joining us today on IML Labs presents Greg and Joe TV. Look at that fucking guy. Look at that fucking...
Gotta give you the side chest.
Fucking huge. That's why he's called Tony Huge. Tony, thank you for joining us today. We will have you back on again real soon. We'll be back right after this quick break. There's a good reason why Hot Stuff has been around for over a quarter century. Yes, that same company you know and love from way back when is better than ever and never went away. Check out their huge can. Banana flavor is my personal favorite. That was the original flavor, and this stuff not only tastes good, it mixes well. Back then you had mud lumps and sandy tasting, just disgusting fitness and bodybuilding drinks, but Hot Stuff was one of a kind and still is. Promotes quick gains in lean muscle mass, blast strength levels up from 15 to 25%, melt away intermuscle body fat, dramatically reduce post-workout muscle soreness, and you provide a long-lasting muscle pump. Go to hotstuffnutritionals.com. This is a great product. I've been using this stuff as long as I can remember, and I've been a big fan of it since day one. And if you guys have never taken Hot Stuff, then you do not know what you're missing. Go to hotstuffnutritionals.com right now and order your can.
What's going on, everybody? That's right, it's your boy, the 7-foot, 330-pound, former WWE superstar, former TNA champion, the Blueprint, Matt Morgan, former American Gladiator, the Beast. And I'm pretty positive that covers all my gimmick and pseudo names. But nonetheless, guys, you're tuning in right now to Muscle Sport TV, the realest of the real. No filler, no fluff, no cookie cutter crap. No has to have a happy ending in order for us to produce this show. None of that mess. Instead, what you're about to tune into is shows that are going to make a lot of athletes nervous out there, a lot of athletes butthurt out there, and a lot of athletes really pissed off. But guess what? I don't give a shit. It's about to be a bumpy ride. I suggest you buckle up.
No fucking around, no joking around, no yelling, hey, you're back to... I just wanted to address the whole situation with Greg and what's going to happen moving forward. Obviously, no need to rehash and go over the same fucking thing over and over. It's redundancy at this point. It is what it is. I had a great time working with Greg. We were friends for 10 years. We worked together for many of those years on and off. Obviously, the last 2 and change steady for Muscle Sport Mag, Muscle Sport TV. Things happen, and sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. Right now, we're moving forward. Greg is no longer part of this company. We're moving forward without him. I have no idea if I'm going to bring a co-host on. Right now, I figured for this show, I didn't want a co-host for obvious reasons. I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, the door is always open. One day, Greg and I may fucking bump into each other and figure this thing out, and maybe one day we won't. Maybe we'll bump into each other and kick each other's asses in. I don't really fucking know. But all I do know is that I need to fucking move on because business is business. As much as you guys don't like to hear that, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You got to fucking pay the bills, all right? So moving forward, try to do a whole facelift with this whole show now for, like I said, the same reasons. It's MSTV is going to be the title of the show. It's still going to be the flagship program on the Muscle Sport TV network. Still brought to you by IML Labs. We got a different background. We're using the tablecloth now, the musclesportmedia.net tablecloth. Different music, different intro. Just want to bring it and just not look behind, look ahead. Looking ahead, what you really need to look forward to on this Muscle Sport TV channel, we got a lot of new programs going on. A lot of Instagram Live stuff's going to be happening. We're bringing on new hosts. Obviously, Dave Goy's Comerica Muscle with Superhero Strong, who's the first one we brought in right before the whole thing with Greg happened. He was already on board. We got Tony Huge on board now. We're going to have a lot more things. I got things that I can't mention names because it's not done yet. I don't want to say, hey, so-and-so's coming, and then he's like, nah, I can't do it. So that's why I'm going to leave those things. I'm not going to mention who those people are yet. Some are women, some are men. A lot of good things are going on. I know you guys are going to bash me if you want. Oh, bring Greg back. We're moving forward, guys. No matter what happens in the past, you got to fucking move forward in the future, and things happen for a reason. I said it on a radio show, and I'll say it again today. I'd rather be friends with Greg again someday and not work together than work together and have animosity towards one another. And at the end, we had animosity towards one another, both of us. That works both fucking ways. And it was very obvious, I think, in our work at the end, which suffered as a result of that. I think on our last MSTV shows and the last couple of like radio shows and things like that, it wasn't the same. And even Greg said that. It wasn't the same. We were getting under each other's skin. I made a joke to our producer Al before, and I said, it's like when you're dating a girl for so long and you just, after a while, you hate each other, but you still stay together because you fuck. Well, Greg and I don't fuck. So you know what? There's no payoff at the end. There's no happy ending. We just fought and the shows were suffering, and I can't have that happen with this company. So it is what it is. It's probably for the best. We don't know what happens down the road. we'll see. Those doors open, those doors close. We'll find out down the road. But I only wish Greg the best. I know he's got some stuff going on that I'm excited about. I love his Generation Iron story time. I'm going to be watching all those episodes. I always did. I always will. Like I said before, Greg Valentino fan before I met him. Greg Valentino fan before I was friends with him. Greg Valentino fan during our time working and being friends together. And I'm still Greg Valentino fan today. We move on. Wish him the best. We do what we got to do. He does what he has to do. And everybody's happy at the end. We'll see what happens, guys. But I know you're going to like what we got in store. Trust me. I'm not going to fucking leave this fucking thing hanging. It's going to fucking kick ass like it always did. We'll see you guys right after this quick break.
Hey Robert, it's Jay Cutler, four-time Mr. Olympia here. I want to send a big thank you to yourself and your company, Pumped Up Fitness Nutrition, for the support of Cutler Nutrition.
What's up, everyone? This is Rich Piano. I just want to let you guys know you can get all my supplements at Pumped Up Fitness Nutrition.
At Pumped Up Fitness Nutrition.
Pumped Up Fitness Nutrition. I will see you there.
God damn it.
Pumped Up Fitness Nutrition. The Hulk will be you.
Store is freaking awesome, man. Pumped Up Fitness and Nutrition.
God damn it.
Come here, get all your 5% needs. You know, everything's fully in stock at all times here. It's 100% in stock. This store is fucking awesome.
I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Where else?
Make sure you check out our buddies over at Pro Supplements. It's your one-stop shop for all your domestic SARMs, peptides, and anabolic needs. Info and product list available upon request. Make sure you check these guys out. All of their products have been tested for high quality and purity. Shoot them an email right now with ProAAS at ProtonMail, PROTON mail.com, or ProAAS at Tutanoa, TUTANOTA.com. Make sure you tell them you heard it here first on MSTV.
Hey guys, my name is Ripped Vixen, IFBB Pro Bodybuilder. I'm watching Muscle Sport TV. You can check out my blog on rippedvixen.com.
That's going to do it for us today on MSTV. Thank you so much to Dr. Tony Huge for joining us. And of course, not just for joining us on this program, for joining us with Muscle Sport Mag and Muscle Sport TV. We have a whole fucking slew of people we're going to be adding to that channel, but you already know who we got on there. Superhero Strong starring Comerica Muscle. Also on Mondays, Muscle Sport Radio. It's back. And also on Thursdays, Ask Me Anything MSM style. Keep your eyes out. We got some ladies coming your way. They'll be hosting some shows. They're not all guys. You guys know me better than that. A fucking sausage fest. No good. We got to get some fucking ladies on board. Thank you so much again, IronMagLabs.com, for sponsoring the show. And go to MuscleSportMag.com/subscribe. $32 a year, free shipping in the United States. We will see you next time.